What up, folks? Testing. Yo. Testing. Let's see what's going on. Man, you know what I'm saying? All right. Testing. See what's going on. Testing. Yeah. All right. Let's see if we'll make this work. So now, good evening. Oh, you hear me okay? What's up, cookies and pie? Bake your noodle. What's happening? Hey. What up, y'all? Hey, you know what? I did not expect folks to be awake this late, but I'm happy to see you. If you have no idea what's going on, I do live streams for my Patreon members. You know what? I did not expect where I literally, thank you, cookies and pie. Good to see you this evening. Insane Honey Badger in the house. No idea what's going on. I do live streams for my Patreon members. And the live streams are just basically me literally writing. Oh, bake your noodle. We're gonna pull you out that negative thought loop right now. What I was gonna say is that I literally live streams are just basically me literally write do these like I literally do these live streams for my online for my Patreon community. Oh, the sound's echoing? Say less. Do these like I literally live streams right now. The sound is echoing for my online. So everybody hears an echo. Oh, the sound's echoing? What's up, Eugene? Say less. The sound is echoing. Okay. We going. The sound is echoing. I got a solution for that damn echo. So everybody hears an echo. Let's go to stream. What's up, Eugene? Audio. Oh, it won't let me change it while I'm live, huh? Audio. We going. The sound is echoing. Pause. Apply. Okay. Apply. Okay. Apply. Okay. How about that? How about now? You can hear me? I'm back. I'm not echoing, or am I echoing? Am I echoing? Good. No echo. Okay, cool. So, for those of y'all who don't know what's really going on, how about now? It's real simple. I'm back. I'm not echoing, or am I echoing? Am I echoing? No echo, right? We good. All good in the hood? No echo. Okay, cool. Okay, cool. So, if you don't know what's going on, this is me on Patreon. Really going on. How about now? It's real simple. Recording my videos. And what I usually do is I answer questions and stuff like that while I'm recording my videos. But I always prioritize and answer questions for my Patreon paying members. Okay? So if you feel like you're being overlooked, what I usually do is I answer the echo appeared stuff like that while I'm recording my videos, but I always prioritize and answer questions for my Patreon paying members. Okay? Is it gone? Is the echo gone? I don't know how the echo be leaving and coming. That's suspect to me. Oh, I think I found it. Okay, echo's done. No more echo. Cool, cool. All right, that was on me. Okay, let's go. Let's go, let's go. So, okay, sorry about the echo. Echo. You have YouTube playing in that's exactly what it was. I had YouTube playing in the damn background. Okay. Yeah, okay. So, what's going on? Okay. Success. Gone. Yeah. So what's going on? Thank you for, by the way, thank you for giving me the update on the audio. It takes a minute sometimes. What's going on is this is my recording process. This is literally how I record my videos. I sit down and I write them. And usually I'm recording in the middle of the day. But with Father's Day coming up, I got to cram a bunch of stuff so that, because I'm not going to be working, right? What's good, Will Counsel? William Counsel, what it do? Let's see who we got. We got Darius Logan. We got Corporate Meat Robot. Okay. Some of this shit I can't pronounce. So, let me get into it. Family, if you've ever felt taken advantage of, stuck, crazy, or lost, or you keep repeating the very pattern you despise, one of the most powerful tools I've ever learned for ending many of my self-destructive patterns was vocabulary. Damn, how was that intro? What's good, Christopher Williams? The R&B singer Christopher Williams is in the house, y'all. What's good, family? No more echo, that's for sure. All right. R&B singer, okay. How was that intro? So I'm gonna do the intro again. Let me know when y'all feeling it. Here it go. I'm gonna do the intro for you again. And I got all these movements I can do too. If you've ever felt taken advantage of, stuck, crazy, or lost, or you keep repeating the very patterns you despise, one of the most powerful tools I've ever learned for ending many of my self-destructive patterns was vocabulary. How y'all like that? Y'all like that? Shit turned into a movie. What's up, Darius Logan? So listen, but on some real shit. Nothing has helped me pinpoint destructive behavior in my life, relationships, friendships, and business like vocabulary. This is not about sounding intellectually superior. But when you can call it what it is and back it up with data, you stop speaking from emotion alone. The right vocabulary helps you establish clarity, and clarity makes dysfunction harder to deny. Y'all like that? Woohoo! What's up, Nicer? What's up? Hey, folks, in this video, I want to show you why saying she toxic, he manipulative, I'm lazy, or I keep attracting drama is, no, you know what? Let's add some flavor to that. Watch how I'm going to do it. In this video, I want to show you how In this video, I want to show you why saying she toxic, he manipulative, I'm lazy, or I keep attracting drama is usually not enough. Those words might describe the frustration, but they don't always explain the mechanism. And when you don't understand the mechanism, then I should go. And when you don't understand the mechanism, you keep fighting the same problem with the wrong tools. So I'm going to break down how the right vocabulary can help you research what you're dealing with. So I'm going to break down how the right vocabulary can help you research what you're dealing with. Separate the facts from feelings. Recognize repeated behavior faster than recognize repeated behavior faster and make better decisions before the pattern costs you another relationship, another opportunity, or another 5 years of your life. Y'all seeing that? And if you have any doubt in the power of vocabulary, I'm going to break that down too. Now, woo! Hey, okay. Y'all still hear me? I'm not echoing, everything's cool? All right, cool, check it. So, then I go to if you spent years believing the reason you don't finish what you start, woo, that's hot too, but I don't want to do that. I want to go like this. If you spent years believing the reason you don't finish what you start is due to a lack of discipline or laziness, stop doing that. Research has repeatedly linked procrastination to emotional regulation and short-term mood repair. Now that means you're not necessarily avoiding the work. You're avoiding the emotional part of your creative process. Hence, your routines and resolutions fall apart. Nothing gets finished. Me and Romani will be hosting a live 90-minute workshop breaking down the emotional blind spots crippling your follow-through. Woo, I should do it like this. I should go like this. Me and Romani will be hosting a live 90-minute workshop breaking down the emotional blind spots crippling your follow-through and the blueprint for what to do about it. Woo, that's hot too, though. But I can also give myself a very Googling she toxic. Thank you, bro. Thank you, fam. Check it out. So, I got bullet points, family. I got bullet points. Here we go. Somebody just asked. Okay, so here we go. So I'm going to do that again because I like coming from that. I like going like, me and Romani will be hosting a live 90-minute workshop breaking down the emotional blind spots crippling your follow-through and the blueprint for what to do about it. Woo! You know what, though? I don't feel centered. Let me stand right here. Do that again. Bam. Sorry, y'all. Me and Romani will be hosting a live 90-minute workshop breaking down the emotional blind spots crippling your follow-through and the blueprint for what to do about them. And yes, it's a live 90-minute workshop. If you ain't a millennial or Gen Xer, this ain't for you. I don't need these youngsters trying to check me on my pronouns in the middle of my workshop. But if you are a millennial or Gen Xer who was ready to confront your emotional blocks and activate the go-getter in you, the link is in the description. Let's get back to the program. Woo! Yo, yeah, I'm not free. Someone said 22 RJTV. No, I'm not freestyling, bro. I write little blocks, kind of like bullet points, but they're more fleshed out bullet points, and then I riff on those. For years, I was trapped in a dysfunctional relationship. For years, I was trapped in a dysfunctional relationship with someone. For years, I was trapped in a dysfunction. For years, I was trapped in dysfunctional relationships with some of the most emotionally draining patterns I ever experienced. I could tell you what was wrong, how it made me feel, and why I stopped trusting. But I did not always have the right words for the behavior. So I kept circling the block. Like a Vegas trick with no money. Because when all you have is everyday language, you end up describing the behavior the same way everybody else do. She crazy, he fake. toxic, but the chemistry is amazing. And that last one right there is how people lose 5 years of their life and end up co-parenting with a lesson they should have learned in month 3. Damn, I should do that. I should have said bars. Yeah, I should go. And that last one right there is how people lose 5 years of their life and end up co-parenting with a lesson they should have learned in month 3. Bars! Oh shit, I hit the wrong one. Damn. Hold up. And that last one right there is how people lose 5 years of their life and end up co-parenting with a lesson they should have learned in month 3. Bars! Damn, I hit the wrong one again. All right, here we go. And that last one right, here we go. And that last one right there is how people lose 5 years of their life and end up co-parenting with a lesson they should have learned in month 3. Pause! See, everyday language can describe your frustration, but it does not always show you the mechanism, the pattern, or the psychological context. Woo! I like doing that. So, see, everyday language can describe your frustration, but it does not always show you the mechanism, the pattern, or the psychological context. And this is what can set you free. Because once you understand how something works, you can better see your role in it, how you enable it, how you excuse it, how you keep showing up to the same dysfunction like a Maury Povich guest. You stop saying, I don't know how I keep ending up here. You start seeing the setup. You start seeing the part you missed before the emotional damage. Family, the wrong phrases kept me in the wrong fights for way too many years. Let me give you an example. If somebody keeps denying things they clearly did, twisting the story, moving the goalposts, fuzzing up the language, making you question your memory, and acting like your reaction is the real problem, you can call that person a liar. And maybe they is lying. But if the pattern keep repeating, you might be dealing with gaslighting. Now, gaslighting means somebody is not just disagreeing with you. They are working to make you doubt your own perception. Because liar gives you something to argue about. Gaslighting gives you something to study. Now you can look up examples, compare what happened, and ask, is this a one-time lie or is it a repeated attempt to make me doubt myself? That's what I did. And suddenly, the glory hole wall came tumbling down. I could see exactly who was fucking me over and manipulating me. I could see how every argument had me defending my memory instead of protecting my peace. That is a nasty little trick right there. You walk in asking for accountability and somehow leave apologizing for your tone. That is not communication. That is emotional pickpocketing. Bars! Type bars in the comments if you get that. I gotta learn where these buttons is at. Now, here goes something funny. But let's go deeper. That cut is funny. What if that's, hold up. Now, what if that same person gaslighting you is mired in shame, self-loathing, fear, and a deep sense of inadequacy due to severe suffering, loss, and guilt? And what if lying comes natural to him like arm hair? What if that person then grows to believe their own lies? Now you may be dealing with narcissistic defenses. Now you may be dealing with narcissistic defenses, narcissistic vulnerability, or trauma-related coping. That pattern may involve shame-based defense mechanisms, denial, projection, rationalization, self-deception, pathological lying, and gaslighting. Translation: sometimes the person gaslighting you is not just evil in a cape. Sometimes they just drowning in shame, guilt, fear. Or I should go, sometimes they just drowning in shame, guilt, fear, and inadequacy. Hold up. Here go fly one, here go. Sometimes they just drowning in shame, guilt, fear, and inadequacy. And the truth feel like a bill collector kicking in the dough. So they lie. Then they lie again. Then the lie becomes the furniture in the house. Now everybody got to walk around it like it got... Now everybody got to walk around it like it's always been there. This is not just dishonesty. No, I should go. That is not just dishonesty. Ooh, I like that. Then I should go. Then I should go like this. I should go. That can be denial, projection, rationalization, self-deception, pathological lying, and gaslighting, all having a group meeting inside one emotionally bankrupt adult. Pause! But it does not excuse the behavior. And it definitely does not make it your job to hand over your reality like collateral. Type bars in the comments if you get that. Type bars in the comments if you... Type bars in the comments if you're feeling my pain. Suddenly, I wasn't standing there trying to win every little argument like a ninja in a small claims court suing somebody over emotional damage and a missing air fryer. I now knew achieving honesty with this person was never going to happen, so I stopped expecting it. I was now looking the pattern dead in the eye. And once I saw the pattern, I stopped getting dragged into every little detail and every little diversion. I was seeing it for what it was instead of what I wanted it to be. Now I'm going to go. And that is where my vocabulary became my protection. Bars. Not because the words is magic, but because the words give you a category. And once you have a category, you can gather evidence. You can stop asking, am I tripping? You can sit in front of a real therapist, not these internet therapists with GED papers and good pussy, but like a real licensed mental health professional. No different from conceal and carry. They got to be licensed in your state, you heard me? But you can start asking your therapist, mental health counselor, or psychiatrist, does this term match the behavior I'm experiencing? At this point, the gig is up. Dog, I have sat in couples therapy across from a racially biased therapist who could not deny the clinical terms I presented. Suddenly, the vocabulary defining the behavioral patterns with the appropriate terms was incredibly empowering. This white woman with a license was trying to minimize my experience in my relationship and ended up apologizing to me for 20 minutes. Talking about, I am sure if you put your mind to it, you could be a scholar. I was like, just because you underestimate black people don't make me a scholar, but it does make you a bigot. A lot of people think they know what happened because they know how it felt. And that is where many of us get stuck. Family, the feeling is real, but the feeling is not always the full explanation. You can feel disrespected and still not understand the tactic. You can feel abandoned and still not understand the attachment pattern. Dog, you can feel drained and still not understand the family role you keep playing. That is why vocabulary matters. That is why I'm always introducing new terms and connecting them to everyday language in my videos. To be real, that is why y'all should be joining my. Wait, no, here we go. To be real, that's why y'all should be joining my Patreon, but that's a different conversation. Y'all hearing them dope ass sound effects, by the way? Y'all hearing them dope ass sound effects? Let me do that again. I thought that was dope. Somebody let me know if y'all hearing the sound effects. Here you go. Okay. That is why I'm always introducing new terms and connecting them to everyday language in my videos. To be real, how about this? That is why I'm always introducing new terms and connecting them to everyday language in my videos. To be real, if I'm a kid, damn, I'm gonna do that again. Okay, cool. That is why I'm always That's why I'm always introducing new terms and connecting them to everyday language in my videos. To be real, that's why most of y'all should be joining my damn Patreon, but that's a different conversation. Here's what I discovered. The right words can separate the pain from the pattern, right? So, if you call avoidance being chill, for instance, if you call avoidance being chill, you might keep waiting on honesty from somebody whose survival strategy is manipulation and gaslighting when things get uncomfortable. If you call parentification, I have to grow up fast, you might never understand why you still feel responsible for everybody's emotions as an adult. If you call limerence love, you might confuse fantasy, obsession, and emotional hunger with real connection. The wrong word don't just confuse you, dog. It sends you to the wrong solution. That's like going to Whole Foods for cut bait. You ain't catching much with that lab-made salmon. You need the right word, the right term, the right classification sometimes. Ooh, I just thought of something. You ain't catching much with that. You ain't catching much with that lab-made salmon. You need the right words, the right term, the right classification. Yeah, I like that. Here you go. You need the right word, the right term, the right classification sometimes. And once you get the right word, now you know where to look. Same thing with your life. Type bars in the comments if you get that. I appreciate you, Jake Long. Appreciate you. 222RTV. Special effects. Okay, so let me take a quick break and just answer a few questions. Now's as good a time as any. Let me see if I got a window for that. By the way, now would be a good time to hit the like button if you like something, and if you're motivated as hell, hit that notification bell. And if you really want to see this channel grow, I'm going to need you to hype my video and share this with your folks. Pause! Okay. So, I'm using OBS. I've resisted using OBS for years, but I finally broke down and used it. And the reason is because a YouTuber that I listen to frequently posted a video. And after they posted the video, they realized the sound was messed up, but they were live streaming during the video, so they couldn't stop in the middle of live stream. So they unlisted the video, fixed the sound, and posted it back up. And I was like, damn, I should start doing that. So I started doing the same thing. And they didn't even do it on purpose. But I liked that I could actually talk to people, answer questions and whatnot, then take that video down and put up the thing. And those videos have performed really well for a lot of reasons. Because a lot of times I'm answering y'all's questions and getting fresh ideas. Hakeem, yeah. What do you mean is that my real teeth? They look dirty? They don't look clean? What is it? Was something in my teeth? Hold up. Is something in my teeth? Let me see my phone. He said, is that my real teeth? Is something in my teeth? Let me see. Hey y'all, if there's something in my teeth, let me know. Hakeem, if you see something in my teeth, let a brother know, man. I really appreciate that. But no, man. Yeah, man. Oh, I know what you're talking about. Why they so white. Dog, I just take care of my shit. Always have. It's the way it is. So what I do, here's what's really crazy. All these cuts and things that you see me doing in this video, they take up so much time in the edit. And I normally pass my stuff to an editor. But my editor has gotten more, his delays have gotten to the point where I can't even keep up with this. He can't, I can't keep a schedule because he's so delayed. So now what I do is I do pretty much all the edits right here. And then I just go in and like, see this part where I'm talking like this? I just clip that part out. All the edits and cuts are there. And then I just throw a few words on it. The sound effects are already built in. And now my last 2 videos are top performing videos on my channel, and they were done exactly like this. It just took me a while. The first 2 I did like this, I was bombing. The sound was horrible. It was a mess. And then going back and trying to edit them took too long. So what I'm basically doing is I'm using OBS to record and edit at the exact same time. Now when I go in, I do simple things. I just go, I could even hit a button to make a marker and be like, you know what, mark this section and make sure to cut this shit out. And as far as normally how it goes, I'm live streaming through Patreon. I'm answering the questions of my Patreon members. If they like, how do I do this? What am I going to do about yada yada? I prioritize them because they've been rocking with a brother, putting money on a brother's books. So what else? Yeah. So anyway, Hakeem was just asking if it was my real teeth. So I thought something was on him. Giving true, this is it. Honesty, to be honest, gold bars. Hey, Jake, I appreciate it, man. And you know what? I tell you what, because I'm being of service to folks, I tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to do this. Because a lot of people don't know this. My name is Romany Malco, right? I'm an actor. And I've been doing this Tijuana Jackson character for, let's keep it a buck. I've been doing Tijuana Jackson on YouTube for 16 years. And before that, I was doing it on Justin TV for a year prior to doing it on YouTube. The thing is, you couldn't stream live on YouTube back in the day, so I would stream live on Justin TV, and then I would upload the video to YouTube. I got videos on this channel, 15, 16 years old. Exactly what I'm talking about. The coachings I've been doing, all this stuff, I've been doing for 16 years. Right here. I've had online communities, one after the other. I have an online community now. This is what I've been doing this entire time. When I negotiate a contract in Hollywood, whether it's, to be in a movie or whatever, I always leave room for Tijuana Jackson because they'll tell you, because I do TJ Weekly. They're like, you can't do TJ Weekly. Someone said, Sawali Vibe said Wallo was doing it first. Sawali, you haven't seen Wallo's apology to me? You still in the dark like that? And I'm not trying to be negative. You don't realize that I've been on YouTube for 17 years doing this? And when he came out, I'm about to say, he really thought I was copying him. And then his own audience beat him down to the point that he came to me and apologized. And that ain't a diss. I'm just saying, Wallow and whatever the other dude's name is, they were just speaking out of pocket. And the blessing was they tried to sabotage my movie. It ended up working out better for my movie. But the blessing was I really got to see the impact I had on, on the community with this character. Right there. C-Dub Freeman. No, C-Dub Fireman. He said, been here since Prison Logic. That means he's been here 15, 16 years. And you know what's crazy? Okay, here goes some game. Here goes some YouTube game for you. So, content creation is very different now, right? So what that means is the distribution method is very different. Back in the day when I started YouTube, YouTube distributed your videos, distributed your content to the people who subscribed to you. They got it first. They distributed your content to the people who followed you. Today, distribution is different. With AI and everything, it's now what's called interest-based distribution, which means I could make a topic on parentification and they will distribute it to those people. Yeah, they tried to sabotage my movie. They'll distribute it to people who are interested in that. But I make another video on limerence and they'll distribute to people. So it's interest-based as opposed to loyalty-based, right? So I realized me not trying to build a channel from scratch in 2026 is such a blessing. I have a very unique relationship with my audience because my audience and I have grown up together. I've seen so much of my audience go on to get careers. I've seen so many of my audience go on to raise families. Like, that's rare in this era. And so I don't take that for granted. And, a lot of my audience, they're on my email list. I got some of my audiences in my online community. Some of my audience, like I said, is on my Patreon. Some of my audience, I have so much support. My audience inspired and paid for my movie. They literally paid for like a third of my movie. So I don't even know what else to say other than thank you. And Shaman's like, wait, what was your original YouTube name? It was always Tijuana Jackson. The original YouTube name was always Tijuana Jackson. It's never been nothing else. We called it Tijuana Jackson's Prison Logic. That's what it was always. So anyway, I really thought y'all were two different people for a good minute. Dog, this is how I do folks. I do folks like this all the time. But let's get back to the program. My movie's called Tijuana Jackson's Tijuana Jackson. Just look up Tijuana Jackson movie, dog. It's everywhere. Tijuana Jackson movie. Let's get back to the program. Y'all ready for this work? You know what? Damn. I just realized something. I forgot my platinum chain. Hold up. I gotta put on my platinum chain because that's. Hold up. Let me put on my platinum chain because. Wait, hold on. I got to put on my platinum chain because that's my trademark. Got that shit for $59 on Amazon. Anyway. What's up? So, anyway, like I was saying, family. Once you got the... Competitive Edge. That was a good video. Yo, and once you got the right word, and once you got the right words, now you know where to look. Same thing with your life. Type bars in the comments if you get that. Look, I am not saying every clinical term is automatically a diagnosis. Don't get goofy with it. Some people learn one psychological word and start acting like they got a clipboard and a parking pass at a mental hospital. Not everybody at Thanksgiving got a disorder because they passed the macaroni with an attitude. Or when all these women claim to be victims of narcissists and then 2 years later, the same women was accusing each other of being narcissists in their online communities. That is not what I'm talking about. Vocabulary is not there so you can diagnose everybody. Vocabulary is there so you can investigate better, consult better. It gives you a starting point. It gives you something to research. It gives you a way to compare what you experience with patterns other people have studied, named, challenged, and documented. Pause! That is one of the reasons vocabulary is so powerful. This literally saved my life. I was deteriorating mentally, emotionally, and physically simply because I was playing teams in a game of prison dodgeball. But when the vague descriptions and emotional rants got replaced with vocabulary and deeper understanding, even the liar, the master manipulator, who believed their own lies and was possibly never aware of their own behavior, now had to take ownership. Because our exchanges now remain grounded in data. I could I could anticipate the diversion tactics, the Darvo. Yeah, I like that. Now I could anticipate the diversion tactics, the Darvo, the externalization, the blame, the victim positioning, the false equivalences, the splitting, and coercive control. I didn't know what none of that meant, but once I did, the conversations I had with her and our therapist became a lot less emotional for me. Not because I was, well, here we go. Not because I was treating the vocabulary as the end all tell all, but because I could ask better questions. Woo! Hey, I'm feeling this, y'all, okay? And when we could nail those terms, we could address the root causes of those behaviors. One thing you learn in prison, you got to get to the bottom of shit before ninjas get to your bottom. Bars! Oh, I missed it. Shit. Damn it. Hold up. Let me do that again. So I'm going to go. One thing you learn in prison, you got to get to the bottom of shit before ninjas get to your bottom. Bars! Hey, now would be a... If you ain't hyped the video yet, please do that. And guess what else, y'all? Now would be a good time to hit the like button if you like something, and if you motivated as hell, hit that notification bell. But if you really want to see this channel grow, I'm going to need you to share this with your folks. Boss. Now let me try that again. Now would be a good time to hit the... Let me do that again. Hold on. Now would be a good time to hit the like button if you like something, and if you motivated as hell, hit that notification. That ain't even working. Hold on, let's do it again. Now would be a good time to... Damn it, I wasn't ready. I hate it when I ain't ready. Here we go. Now would be a good time to hit the like button if you like something, and if you motivated as hell, hit that notification bell. But if you really want to see this channel grow, I'm going to need you to hype this. Damn, I messed it up. Let's do it again. Now would be a good time to hit the like button if you like something, and if you motivated as hell, hit that notification bell. And if you motivated, damn. Jake Long, I'm glad I left you in a better mood. I really am. Yo, I was gonna do like a Damon. I'm not even gonna crack jokes like that. Let me just keep moving on. But to mess with Hakeem, I think it was Hakeem who was asking me about my teeth. I was gonna do a Damon Dash on him, but I don't think that's cool. In fact, erase, cancel. I didn't say that. Okay. Okay, here we go. So check it out, folks. Now would be a good time to hit the like button if you like something, and if you motivated as hell, hit that notification bell. Look, it ain't going. Come on, folks. Y'all probably think I'm doing this shit on purpose. My man said, take your time, fam. Okay. Now would be a good time to hit the like button if you like something, and if you motivated as hell, hit that notification bell. But if you really want to see this channel grow, I'm going to need you to hype this video and share it with your folks. Okay. Now, how would I do this? The deeper problem, here, The deeper problem is a lot of us was raised by folks who didn't have the vocabulary either. Okay, that was kind of dope, huh? You get that little side view of the teeth. They had survival language. They had church language. They had street language. They had shame language. They had mind your business language, but they did not have the emotional language. So when something was wrong, nobody named the pattern. They named the inconvenience. Oh, she just difficult. He just old school. That's just your mama. That's just how men are. Don't put family business in the street now. Stop being sensitive. Pray about it. And prayer might help your spirit, but prayer without language can leave your psychology sitting in the driveway with no transmission. Because when a family does not have the words for dysfunction, dysfunction gets protected as tradition. Not everybody walking around defending behaviors that have caused lasting emotional damage. Not because they evil, because they inherited explanations that were too small for what happened. Type bars in the comments if you get that. Some, you know what? Oh, no wonder. Some families do not pass down wisdom. They pass down survival language. And woo! Shit. Jesus. I'm at to stop and acknowledge you in a second there, family, but damn. Give me a sec. Goddamn. Give me a second, family. You putting money up on the brother books like that? Hey, wait, hold up. Hold up. Shit. Broke my fucked up my concentration. I am, what's his name? Hold up. Everybody put some, y'all know the tradition. What's his name? Hold up, let me see. Let me reply. Everybody, hold up, man. How do I do this shit? He said, we appreciate you, TJ. Let me look. Man, hold up. I am Kevin Queens. Appreciate you too, Kevin Queens. Everybody, we need fire emojis. We need fire emojis right now in the chat. We need fire emojis in the chat right now. Let me see if I can do it. There it go. There it go. Okay. Okay. So we get some fire emojis in the chat. Can we do that? Let me put mine. Kevin Queens. Tag him. Thank you, Nisa, for tagging him. Oh shit, I did it wrong. There we go. Put some fire emojis in the chat, y'all. We gotta show respect, brother. Let me explain something really quick. I'm gonna tell you what I always say. Never expected, always appreciated. Bruh, I sincerely appreciate you reaching down into your hard-earned to put it on a brother's books. I sincerely appreciate the long-term support. It means a lot. It's very validating. And just so you know, man, I'm never on here for that. I'm never on here for that. I'm literally on here because I promised my Patreon viewers that I would literally get on Patreon and write my videos with them present, ask them for jokes and shit like that so that we could go back and forth and they can feel like they are part of the creative process. That is the reason I'm here. Matter of fact, let me just say thank you one more again. And I'm gonna write a rap so that every time somebody put money on a brother's books, I could just do the rap. But anyway, Kevin Queens, very appreciated, my brother. So let's go back down to this shit. Let's go back down and do this shit. This is gonna be a big jump. I just came up with something funny. So the problem is, here we go. Some families do not pass down wisdom. They pass down survival language. And survival language can keep a family alive while still leaving everybody emotionally illiterate. You know what? I think I went too far ahead. No, I didn't. Okay, cool. Emotion illiterate. That's just how your daddy is becomes a cover story for emotional neglect. That's how your mama means well becomes a coward's way of saying ignore the abuse. That's how you, the man of the house now, turns a child into unpaid emotional labor. Parentification is when a child gets forced into adult responsibilities before they are ready. And once that gets normalized, the child grow up thinking love means being useful, exhausted, and quietly resentful. That's not maturity. That's childhood debt with grown-up interest. And speaking of debt, I ain't sold a t-shirt in so long my merch inventory is a write-off at this point. But what I'm trying to say is, sometimes family dysfunction goes on for so long people stop recognizing it as dysfunctional. Somebody always the strong one. Somebody always the crazy one. Somebody always the successful one. Somebody is the disappointment, the peacekeeper, the caretaker. And once you get assigned that role, the family will punish you for outgrowing it. And to them, your growth is abnormal. And to them, your growth is abnormal and inconvenient. And to them, your growth is abnormal and inconvenient. And to them, your growth is abnormal and inconvenient. That's how I got tripped up. That's how I got tripped up. To that angle, Shay Mayo, you saying that angle, look to that one? Okay. I was so accustomed to these dynamics in my relationships because my very volatile, I was so accustomed to these dynamics in my relationship because my very volatile, I was so accustomed to these dynamics in my relationships because my very impulsive, very volatile mama behaved the same way. How about that? All right, cool. Then I could come back to y'all this way. My very alcoholic daddy did it too. Then I'm going to go. So the behavior seemed normal to me because I ate it for breakfast. So the behavior seemed, here we go. So that behavior seemed normal to me because I ate it for breakfast. Hold up. Here I go. That's more like it. So that behavior seemed normal to me because I ate it for breakfast. Dog, I spent my whole childhood managing these dynamics, so as an adult, they seem manageable. But when I began to develop a vocabulary around what I had been experiencing my whole life and what I was now experiencing in my relationship, I began to understand how these patterns were anything but normal. I began to understand how damaging they had been to my development, my mental health, my sense of self. I began to understand how somebody could end up with 2, 3, 4, 5 baby mamas or baby daddies and still never connect the dots. Because if dysfunction is normal to you, repetition does not feel like a warning. It feel like a hot beat. You nodding to the shit. Because somebody say do it from the right. Yo, because this shit is true. I'm laughing. I'm laughing at this shit, but this shit is true. Okay? This is real shit. I'm not making shit up. Y'all know I'm always telling shit that happened in my life. Them old Tijuana Jackson stories, sleeping on the roof of county jail and all that, I did that. All that's real. Remember I talking about red, man down, man down. All that's real. Okay. Here we go. Because if dysfunction is if dysfunction is normal to you, repetition don't feel like a warning. No, that shit feel like a hot beat, dog. You nodding to it and shit. Hey, y'all got me cracking up. Y'all got me cracking up. And I'm gonna go. Then I'm gonna go. Then I'm gonna go. Then I'm gonna go like this. I'm gonna go. Type bars in the comments if you get that. No, 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 no. I did that wrong. It's supposed to be like this. And close up like this. Type bars in the comments if you're feeling my pain. Then I go like this. Dog. Thank you for letting me know I'm spitting more than spit through these teeth. But yo, dog, I don't know if you know this, man, and you know, take a quick break and just say this. Everything that I do on this channel is very intentional. You know, I've been committed to this for a long time. I've had people had to pull me back, be like, "Hey, dog, you're jeopardizing your career. Come back to work," because of my commitment to this. And a big part of the reason is because I got the receipts. You just go, you can just read through my comments. Read through my comments. And I want to clarify something else. I think there's a huge misconception about why I wear these teeth. I wear these teeth because, not because you need to hear it like this and see it like this. No. I do this because I've always known when you empower people, they come for you. They complicate your life. And especially me being in Hollywood. So me having these teeth in and me talking with this vernacular, me coding words, like you might hear me say, you know, something about what's going on in Gravelstein, right? And talk about Bender Man get his Yahoo, you know, I can do all that. And whether AI detects it or not, it's still humor. It's still coded in humor. And so even though, you know, even though my Tijuana Jackson company, all that Tijuana Jackson, from time to time will get searched in, is it real? You know, you can go on Google Trends and see they've searched me over 100 times. They've searched the company, you know. This comedic veil just kind of prevents me. It makes me seem less threatening. Meanwhile, the folks who understand the vernacular, if I slip up and say, and that's how folks in this country end up. That's how I might say, you know, we so divided we couldn't come together. We couldn't stand together for nothing, and that's how folks in this country become miserable, right? So I do that. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Y'all know what I'm talking about. The algorithm might even pick it up. But the real truth is this vernacular, this coding creates what's called a comedic veil. And I get to protect myself. I get to stand behind that comedic veil. But, oh, it was just jokes. It was just jokes. It was just jokes. And as a result, my family and I stay safe and healthy and functional. Anyway, Hakeem said, I forgave my fam. That's beautiful, family. Okay, let's rock. So let's see what we're saying. Some folks see the chaos as normal, like it's normal to have a baby at 15, to get kicked out of a school at 16. Facts. Yeah, and then they blame other people for it. 8-Bit Kyle, I appreciate you. 8-Bit Kyle 200, I appreciate you. Someone said, we're going to get a part 2 of the movie. Dog, I'm working on it right now. I'm in the process of building this empire, and I definitely want to make another movie. Way to use sensationalism to draw attention to needed mental processing and truth about the mind. Hey, it's real talk. Wait till I get to the end of this video. I got something for your ass. We're gonna just dive into this just a little bit. Intentionality appreciated. Thank you very much. I attended your workshop and I thought it was very powerful. In that hour and 30 minutes was a full information. The full information was true. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Talib, I appreciate that. Laughter is the best medicine. I just feel like I just learned that I come from a dysfunctional family and it makes me angry, but I'm trying to heal. Hey, listen, in your process of trying to heal, is it Hakim or Hakeem? I think it's Hakeem. Oh, I see it's Hakeem. So in the process of trying to heal, kill the destination. Get rid of the destination. There's no destination. There's no, oh, I'm healed now. That's not what it's about. If you do that, what you're really saying is you're coding yourself to believe you are damaged and broken. No. Here's what you are. You are misunderstood by you. That's it. You are misunderstood by you. You know that you've experienced some degree of trauma. You know you've grown up in some dysfunction, but you may not be aware of the impact it has actually had. You may not be aware of how it influences your decisions in 2026. You may not be aware of your interpretation of safety, success, fulfillment, love, etc. And so your job is to not write yourself off as dysfunctional and needing to fix yourself. Your job is to go, I'm someone worth studying. Why is it that we are able to read someone else's biography and all this? Because we admire their success, and we can tell you more about their life than we can tell you about our own. We can tell you more about the psychological process of an MMA fighter or a UFC fighter than we can talk about our own emotional process. So if you just look at yourself as someone worthy of studying, worthy of understanding deeply, worthy of your time, worthy of your version of nurture, not what everybody else says is nurture, your version of what you need. If you are willing to sit still and actually feel whatever you might be feeling, that anger, sit still and feel it. Because you'll notice after that anger starts like going away, you'll notice at the base of that might be sadness, might be confusion, right? And so you have to allow yourself to truthfully give you what you need rather than what the status quo says, rather than what, society deems happiness. Never let society set the standards for your personal happiness, ever. That will be a road to misery. So if you come from a dysfunctional family, that dysfunctional family is the blueprint to your own shit, right? So you can observe their behaviors, you can observe their choices, and you can make better choices. But you can also identify the shit in you. I don't want to go on too long about that, but, we all come from these dysfunctional families, especially if you're a millennial or Gen Xer. Shit is crazy. Someone said survival hard when you're unstable and full of instability. And that's another thing I want to say. We speak about a lot inside my online community is this. In the process of trying to understand you, don't be afraid to get that psychiatric assessment. Don't be afraid to go there and figure out, oh shit, I actually inherited a chemical imbalance. More than likely, when you find yourself really, look, man, I'm going to just keep it a buck. A lot of us were raised, a lot of us were raised by parents with mental health disorders that were never diagnosed. Now their behavior is dysfunctional, and if we don't inherit the shit, we go and find a partner that exhibits those same dysfunctional behavioral traits. And we sit there wondering why we're suffering. That's why we're suffering, because we've never addressed the root issue. So if you get the opportunity to, the first thing I'm going to tell you is get your own psychiatric assessment. Do like me, get two. I've had two in the last 2 years. Go get an assessment. Shit, you might come back with a full-blown diagnosis. And the other thing is that, you know how they say, oh, I don't want to be with no woman, or I don't want to be with no man if he don't show me he make this much money, or if he can't show me. Yo, look, dog, if she can't show you that mental health assessment, if she can't tell you her mental health, if she joking about potentially having ADHD, dog, don't run, nigga, get an Uber. Get the fuck out of there. Because if she's not willing to take her mental health seriously, she damn sure ain't gonna take yours seriously. If he can't take your mental health seriously, he damn sure ain't gonna take. He can't take his mental health seriously. He damn sure ain't gonna take your mental health seriously. You understand what I'm saying? TJ, what's your take on survivor's guilt and how to break the? Let me make sure nobody in my damn Patreon is asking questions. Next thing you know, they gonna be like, "What the fuck we paying for? You answering these niggas questions?" Hold on, real quick. Wait, I got a Patreon question. Do I still connect with my gay friends in prison? I'm gonna skip that. I'm gonna skip that question. So, my take on survivor's guilt. You know, maybe I'll make a video on survivor's guilt and how to break that cycle of guilt, shame, pride, and ego. Well, the cycle of guilt, shame, pride, and ego, bruh. Let me tell you something. I'm gonna give y'all the secret sauce. Here go the secret sauce. Oh, by the way, just because you come back with a diagnosis, um, let, let me clarify this shit just so everybody know what's going on. I'm with a woman who has real ADHD. I got a stepson who's 16 years old now. I got a son who's 16 years old now, and he's autistic with ADHD and extreme anxiety. I'm in a neurodivergent family, and uh, I've witnessed people get diagnosis and not take medication. They just simply adjusted their diet. They cut out processed foods. Or my lady right now is on what's called a carnivore diet. She's been doing it for like, I don't know, 4 or 5 months now. Carnivore diet. She does it off and on. And her mental health is a lot better. It's a lot easier for her to regulate her emotions just by changing the diet. So like TJ says, man, you ain't got to get medicated. You just got to get dedicated. Bars! Wait, you ain't got to get medicated. You just got to get dedicated. Bars! Type bars in the comments if you get that. So, so in regards to mental health medication, it really depends on where you are in your life. My daughter, she wanted to take the medication. She was like, dog, I'm in college. I don't want to ruin my life. I don't want to eat like y'all. This is probably going to be of my social life. This is going to be the highlight of my social life. And so, she was like, give me the medication. Fair. Makes sense. It just depends on where you are in your life. Also, I had someone hit me up one time, and never forget this. He was like, I don't understand how I'm getting older and my schizophrenia is getting worse. That shit stayed with me. Literally, like months later, I was like, why is his schizophrenia getting worse? So I started researching it. I asked a psychiatrist, and I was like, hey, so this is the situation. She gave me all this paperwork, all this stuff. I went online and looked it up. Guess what? High sugar diet accelerates or heightens your schizophrenia. Sugar. So there's a lot of investments that you can make in yourself, a lot of sacrifices you can make for yourself. But here's the problem. Most of us are addicted. We're addicted to comfort. And we don't realize it, but what we're really doing is we're self-soothing. Along this whole journey, we're self-soothing. That's it. We are self-soothing. What does that mean? It means that we are making choices, we're eating things, ingesting things, watching things, engaging with things that help us avoid our emotional discomfort. Type bars in the comments if you get that. And if you don't get that, don't type nothing. You just don't get it. Yes, we live in the building. Yes, sir. Type bars in the comments if you get that. By the way, now would be a good time to hit the like button if you like something, and if you motivated as hell, you better hit that notification bell. And if you really want to see this channel grow, I'm gonna need you to hype. What the hell? One more time. And what is it? Huh? Oh, that's just the like button. Huh? Damn, I just realized something. Yo. Now would be a good time to hit the like button if you like something, and if you motivated as hell, hit that notification bell. But if y'all really trying to see this channel grow, I'm gonna need you to share this with your folks. Okay. So I could give you all types of insight, give you all kinds of opinions and feedback, but I gotta finish a video, get my ass to bed, and get up early and go to the gym. Dog, do the research there, because I promise you, dog, if you do bake your noodle, if you do the research, there's a lot of dietary adjustments that you can make. There's a lot of supplements that you can take as well. And Jake Long, I appreciate you, family. I love seeing that, because I love sharing this part of my process. And I never thought that I could do. I never thought of doing it like this until I saw old dude, you know, thing his video, and then I started doing it, and now I'm doing it for my Patreon folks, and they love it. So, oh yeah, my Patreon folks, and they love it. Now I'm doing it for my Patreon folks, and they love it. Why that shit ain't working? See, now I'm doing it for my Patreon folks, and they love it. Y'all hear that dope ass sound effect though? Okay. So we done talked about survival language. And the growth and quietly resentful. Urgent. I told y'all I ain't sold a t-shirt in a minute. Yeah, I told y'all that, right? I said, that one was when I said, yeah, speaking of debt, I ain't sold a t-shirt in a minute. At this point, my inventory is a write-off. So what's up now? So I'm going through my notes, seeing what I gotta say next, because y'all threw me off a little bit. And thank you for the Happy Father's Day, nice. I appreciate that. Bake your noodle. There's a lot of theories online, but I will tell you something. One of the most beneficial things I've done for myself repeatedly is parasite cleanse. If you want, look up a place called the Optimum Health Institute. Look up the Optimum Health Institute. There's one in San Diego. There's one in Texas. It's a little costly now. It used to be cheap back when I would go. But you go there, it's a raw food diet. You do wheatgrass enemas. You drink this thing called Rejuvelac. You literally flush and cleanse your body thoroughly. And you will see the difference in your capability, in your sense of sense of ability, in your sense of self, your sense of peace. You'll see. You'll see. Shit. So what am I doing? So I forgot where I left off. Y'all threw me off. So I was saying something about the behavior. I was talking about my mental health. Do y'all remember where I left off? Okay, here we go. I think I got it. I remember I was talking about. That's right. Shit, type bar in the comments if you're feeling my pain. So here we go. I'm picking up from here. And when I started calling this out in my own relationships, making the point that these things were not normal, I was resented for lending clarity. The person asking for accountability becomes disrespectful. The person naming the pattern becomes dramatic. The person trying to heal becomes acting brand new. No, sometimes you are not acting brand new. Sometimes you are the first person in the family to stop calling damage discipline. Because a lot of what we call culture is sometimes just pain that's been around so long we forget it's there, like genital warts. Type bars in the comments if you get that. Ironically, I was the first and only person in couples therapy presenting the behaviors and the vocabulary in clear terms. That eventually led to my ex getting a psychiatric assessment that came back as a full-blown mental health diagnosis. To this very day, she resents me for that fact. Whenever we crossed paths, she pretend not to see me while acting like she living the high life. Can't be that high. Her two oldest kids still borrowing money from me. She don't know that though. Hey, no, Chat GPT, Claude, they can't do this. They can't do this. Hey, real life circumstances, they can't do this. Yo. Now would be a good time to hit the like button if you like something, and if you motivated as hell, hit that notification bell. And if you really invested in seeing my channel grow, I'm gonna need you to hype this video and share it with your folks. Pause. Okay. Look, family, if you haven't figured it out by now, the real reason you keep stalling on your goals has nothing to do with how disciplined, motivated, or focused you is. Men hate it when I say this, but your failure to follow through on the things you know would improve your life is not a discipline issue. It's an emotional issue. Don't take my word for it. Research has been confirming this for over 2 decades. Look up the Tyson Britslovsky study, the Sorois and Peichel studies. Dog, you not avoiding the work. What you are avoiding is the emotional part of your creative process. Yes, women too. That's the real reason your follow-through is garbage. You don't need another planner. You need emotional accountability. I'm gonna go. You don't need another planner. You need emotional accountability. Then I'm gonna say, Romani Malco and I is hosting a live 90-minute workshop where let me get centered. So let me do that again. Go. Romani Malco and I is hosting a live 90-minute workshop where we expose the emotional blind spots sabotaging most people's progress, and we hand you the exact playbook to get you active on your shit. Show up ready to take notes. This is for millennials and Gen Xers. I know what your upbringing was like, and I know the emotional toll it took on you. The workshop is live, so if you're one of these androgynous youngsters and you show up, I'm probably going to kick you out. But for any millennial or Gen Xer who is tired of sleeping on your own ambition and needs some real ones to wake your ass up, the link is in the description. Now let's get back to the program. Pause. Oops. Shit. Pause. Okay. Oh, shit. I done hit everything. Okay. Whatever. Anyway, let's get into it. So. Damn. Hey, man, emotional management is so key. Mr. Groove is so key. Okay. Okay. So let me bring this all the way home. The point of learning these words, these terms, is not to sound smart. It's not to win arguments. It's not to sit around diagnosing everybody like you got a stethoscope from Timu. The point is to stop living at the mercy of language that was too small for what The point is to stop living at the mercy of language that was too small for your pain and too small for your gains. Pause! Because if all you can say is, they crazy, you will keep dealing with crazy like it's random. If all you can say is, that's just family, you will keep protecting dysfunction like it's culture. If all you can say is, I'm just bad at relationships, you might never realize you are reenacting patterns that started before you ever had a choice. Type bars, whoops. Type bars in the comments if you get that. But that is why vocabulary matters. It gives shape to the invisible. It gives structure to the confusion. It gives your therapist something better to work with than, I don't know, doc, the vibes was demonic like the Palm Beach PD class. And once you can name it, you can study it. Once you can study it, you can question it. Once you can question it, you can stop obeying it. The words alone ain't healing. The words is the doorway. You still got to walk through it. You still got to tell the truth. You still got to stop romanticizing emotional damage. You still got to stop protecting people who need your confusion in order to keep their You still got to stop protecting people who need your confusion in order to keep their version of the story alive. And sometimes the hardest part of clarity is accepting that somebody may never admit what you can now clearly explain. That is where you grow up. Not by getting the confession, not by winning the debate, not by finally making them understand. Sometimes you grow up by saying, I understand enough to stop participating, because vague language will keep you emotionally incarcerated. But accurate language can hand you the key. Type bars in the comments if you get that. Bars! Wait, shit. Bars! And some of y'all been holding that key for years like you gatekeeping toxicity. Now, this might seem irrelevant to the illiterate class, but it's more valid than Khaled tossing Drake's salad. Bars. Many years ago, I was going through this book, Metu Neter, Volume 1, The Great Oracle of Tahuti and the Egyptian System of Spiritual Cultivation. Many years ago, I was going through this book, Metu Neter, Volume 1, The Great Oracle of Tahuti and the Egyptian System of Spiritual Cultivation. And one thing that stayed with me all these years, it was that even in spiritual systems like Metu Neter, words was never decoration. Words carried power. The right word could reveal a spiritual condition, expose the hidden pattern, and point you towards the force believed to correct it. That is why vocabulary matters. Because sometimes the word is not just a description. Sometimes the word can become the prescription. Bars. And for all you strong and independent, reliable folks who show up for everybody, and for all you strong and independent, reliable folks who show up for everybody but yourself, I got a word for you in this video. Damn it. Do that again. And for all you strong and independent, let me start here. And for all you strong and independent, reliable folks who show up for everybody else but yourself, I got a word for you in this video right here. All right, y'all just watch me. My whole Patreon crew just watched me record my whole damn video. Everybody on YouTube just watched the brother record his whole damn video. Yo, let me tell you one of the things I love about this Tijuana Jackson shit. Y'all may not know this guy, but there was a guy named Phil Hendry. He was a radio host. And Phil Hendry was nuts. He was nuts. And what I mean by nuts was, this dude would host a show where remember back when there was all this controversy because of all the sexual predators that were being revealed in the Catholic Church, right? Um, well, he would have a representative from the church there offering $50,000 to anyone that was filing a lawsuit, because I think there might have been like a potential class action going on. And the guest would be offering $50,000 for you to kind of like forgive and forget. He would have one of the victims of the church on the show as well. And he would have people calling in completely going off on this Catholic Church representative. The funny shit was he was playing all the characters. And it was ridiculous and funny. So having appreciate that, what's that, Coda or Kodak 35. So me having insight to the show, I was now just being entertained by his talent. But then people would call in who did not know that these were all fictitious characters that he was playing, and they'd be on that phone arguing, calling in, arguing, and us who already knew would be rolling even harder. So there were all these layers of comedy. And I really took a lot from him in the sense that I realized you can really add layers to this comedy and it ends up working for you. So for me, a prime example would be I'm spitting real game. And in the middle of my real game, I just say some off-colored shit, right? And y'all be like, damn, this dude is weird. But a lot of y'all know Tijuana Jackson is me. And so y'all are like, this dude is just his wordplay and you are enjoying entertainment. But it's very difficult to turn away when somebody's making you laugh and speaking truth into your life, right? Or really speaking your life. It's hard to turn away. I always knew that. But then you got people who don't know, and they in here engaging and chopping it up and going back and forth. You know, that's funny too. They become entertainment because of their lack of awareness around what's actually happening. And then the other thing that's really cool is, one other tool that's really cool about this is that what I get to do is build trust. Because one of the things I've learned about comedy, about humor, if someone cracks an off-colored joke, right, with that Kid Rock humor, you already know, you go, oh, you get turned off. You're like, that ain't my people. But then if somebody cracks a joke that's not just funny, but it's relatable, your brain automatically goes, we must be cousins. How you know my life. And the reason I bring that up is because that's a lot of what occurs here. I've managed to like build a pretty significant online community where I do live coaching every Sunday, and people pay to be a part of that community. And it's literally, Romani Malco does the coaching inside the online community, but they come to the community because they first saw me, right? So y'all, you get the point. All right, so let's stop for a minute. So I think it's Chemical 12. Wait, X is 20. No, X is 10. So is it Chemical 12 or Chemical 22? Chemical 12? I forget my Roman numerals. But my man put some money on the brother's books. He dipped into his hard-earned to put some dolos in my polo. We need to put up some fire emojis and acknowledge this brother. It's never expected, but it's always greatly appreciated. Real talk. Dog, you just paid for some bait. I could take me and my son fishing. I ain't even playing. Let's put some fire emojis up for at Chemical. What is it? Chemical 12? What is it? Bam. Okay. Yo, how come it ain't let me tag you? That's weird. Hold up. At. Hold up. At. It's some crazy shit. Hold on. I should be able to tag you unless you one of them secret society channels. Okay, well, I'm going to just write your shit in there anyway. Hey, man, put some fire emojis up for this brother, man. Folks putting money on the brother's books. Thank you, my brother. I really appreciate you, family. Sincerely. Sincerely, you hear me? Okay, never expected, always appreciated. Deeply. So, I just recorded a whole video, and, you know, it's a lot of questions and whatnot. Dog, you want to get questions, you know, you want to get questions answered and addressed, join the Patreon, dog. Hey, look, 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 the commitment is there. It's just up to you. You heard me? Yeah, Shay Mayer was saying about our parents having disorders, undiagnosed disorders, neurodivergent family. But look, man, I always teach people, and I don't know if she's still here, but Cookies and Pie is in my online community. And she's experienced some horrific things at her job. And she's been there for decades. And in one of the coachings, we had, you know, a talk. She was talking about how miserable she was. And through this coaching, I was like, you know, it seems like your purpose is in that job. She came back 2 weeks later. She was like, yeah, I'm in the process of building an app because in the administrative part of that job, people run into these issues. So this app is just going to basically help automate a lot of that. She goes, when you told me that my purpose would be in this job, I was disgusted. I was like, no way. A couple weeks later, it came to me. You feel me? So you ain't lying. Back in the day, I was planning to do radio, but to me, this is the best of all worlds. Buzz. By the way, Mr. Suge White, big time gangster, Mr. Suge White. He owns Breath Row Records. Mr. Suge White just put some money on the brother's books. Let's put some money. Let's put some fire emojis up for Mr. Suge White for being generous in the house today. What? Received, my brother, never expected, but always appreciated, family. Come on, y'all. Let's put up some emojis, man. We got celebrities in here, man. We got Mr. Suge White in the house, y'all. Come on, family. Come on. I showed y'all the R&B singer Chris Williams was in here, huh? So, Suge White just got out of jail. He said, thank you for the surprise birthday celebration and letting me be involved in the making of your movie during my darkest time. All right, Mr. Suge White. You know, I used to call old dude Lone Wolf. What he's talking about is this brother contributed to my movie. And the people that contributed to my movie, some of them contributed so that they could be an assistant on set. Mr. Suge White got to be an assistant. He contributed to my movie so he could be an assistant on set. He came on set. We put his ass to work, but we also found out it was his birthday. So we hit him with a surprise. We hit him with a surprise birthday celebration on the spot, on the damn spot. And he was going through some tough stuff at the time, but he earned some nicknames, and I think we had a blast, man. So my bruv, I'm just happy to know that was the low point. And I'm happy to know it's never perfect all the time, but I'm happy to know that it has been uphill since. Because we really appreciated you on the set. And I also appreciate you being supportive of my movie, family. So, look, man, if you ain't put some fire emojis for Mr. Suge White, you're doing a little bit of disservice to this stream, family. Let's go. Let's see what we got. Come on, let me see some fire emojis. Let's go. That's a good brother. All right, so let's see what we got now. Now, I guess it's time. I guess now it's time to say goodbye to friends and family, okay? But I am Kevin Queens. I want to say thank you to you, Mr. Suge White. It's good to see you doing well. Nicer. Thank you so much. Bake Your Noodle, Hakeem. I think it's Chemical 12. Cookies and Pie, Jake Long, William Council, C. Dub Fineman, One Draveno, I guess that's what it is. Sawali Vibes, Kodak 35. Oh shit, still Lorinda 1639. She go way back. Oh, what's up? What's up, Murph Me? Damn, I can't call out everybody, but I appreciate y'all being here, family. Listen, this has been fun. I'm gonna be doing it all the time. But I got to get my ass to bed because I got to get up and go to the gym in the morning. My 5-year-old, he really on me, man. He really on me. Okay. Still, Lorinda, I appreciate you. Everybody have a blessed night. This has been fun. No cap. I really enjoyed this. I'm going to stop recording now, okay? No, really, I'm going to stop recording now, okay? No, for real, I'm stopping, okay? No, really, I'm trying to stop it right now, though. Oh, no, I got to go. Because the way my account's set up. I got to go, though. For real. I'll see y'all later. And remember, life is like a vending machine, y'all. It's full of change. And some people just going to keep eating the same old snacks. Okay? You either live facing your fears or you're going to die tasting your tears.